Hey, this is Agotinus, and we are here to rant about stupid people, idiots, and tasers. There was an incident that happened when I was hanging with my family for the 4th of July. Now, sorry, I'm eating a Mike and Ike. When you think of a taser, you usually don't think of somebody like waving it around, threatening people, right? You think of a taser and you think a police officer most likely trying to defend his or herself. Not in my city, and probably not in a lot of other places either. They're waving around tasers, throwing out threats like it's a weapon. I mean, it can be used as a weapon, but I mean, come on. Well, pretty much anything can be used as a weapon, but still. A taser is supposed to be used for self-defense, not for pointing it at people, making a little zap sound like you're scaring somebody. You can have a taser and that not really faze the person that you're pointing it at. For all you know, that person could be freaking immune to electroshocks because they had like shock therapy or something. So you think you're all big and bad because you have a taser. Oh yeah, I got a taser, blah blah blah, this and that. You ain't gonna touch me, you ain't gonna do nothing. Now, the way you're holding it, it doesn't look like it has a strap around your wrist, just in case, someone were to, knock it out of your hand, and then it just be, like, dangling at your wrist. It doesn't look like you have one of those, so, I mean, you try to swoop in and try to hit somebody with it, they could just as easily bump your arm and knock it right out your hand, because I'm pretty sure you're not going to have a death grip on it. Somebody could just smack it right out of your hand, and it'd be done. You all that big talk is over. You ain't got nothing else to say. Your taser is across the street somewhere because they've been and smacked it out your hand, and you definitely ain't making the noise to intimidate nobody. So, are you really as tough as you think you are if you don't have the taser, or do you think that you're so big and bad because you have the taser? Other people try to act the exact same way when they have guns. Okay, you have a gun, and you're like, yeah, I'll shoot you, I'll do this and that. But I mean, sure, you can have a tighter grip on a gun than you can with a taser, depending on the material that the taser is made out of. But I mean, come on, people. Seriously, this light is burning my face. Because I didn't want to have it covered up, and then it me come up too dark in the camera. Ow, my eye. My eye. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Come on, people. I mean, seriously. A taser is supposed to be used for self-defense, not for you to be using it as a threat weapon. If I had a taser, nobody would know about it. I wouldn't be carrying it attached to my waist. It wouldn't be hanging off the side of my bag. I wouldn't be walking around with it in my hand like it's something I need to be showing off. A taser is supposed to be a stealth sort of thing, whether it's the one that shoots out the two beams so that way you don't have to be all up on the person to hit them with it, or you might have the one where you gotta, like poke the person with it for it to work. I mean, me, if I did have one, I probably would never even actually need it because nobody approaches me in a way like that because it just doesn't happen. It's like it just doesn't. I mean, seriously, people are stupid. I don't get them. That's why I don't leave my house. If I don't leave my house, I don't have to deal with any stupid stuff that goes on outside of my house. I don't have to deal with fat chicks trying to throw threats at me because I happen to look in their direction and they think that I'm trying to give them some sort of look like, the heck are you looking at walking my streets looking like that? And be like, what? Why are you looking at me? This and that, blah, blah. I got a taser. What you gonna do? Blah, blah, blah. All this other stuff. First of all, you can put the taser away before I grab your wrist and make you shock yourself with it. 2, you can keep walking. And 3, you can shut your mouth before I hurt you. Because that's what could happen. I mean, seriously. It makes no sense to me. People always have to have something over other people just so that they can be a little bit higher up. Okay, I'm better than you, and you. Can't none of y'all beat me because I got a gun. You, and that hoe over there, y'all can't beat me because I got a taser. So try to step up to me, talk all this smack, because I can talk smack too, but I'll talk even more smack because I have this, because I have a gun, or because I have a taser. Take away the gun or the taser, they're probably still going to be talking trash, but they won't have a weapon that they'll be able to wave around. Either way, you're kind of sort of in the same predicament. It's just that you don't have a weapon. I would rather it go back to 2 people being able to fight one-on-one and, like just fight it out physically with their hands rather than trying to bring rocks, sticks, glass bottles, cement blocks, bricks, swing chains, bike chains, scissors, knives, other types of knives, all types of other crazy stuff, because I mean, yeah, it's a little crazy. Give me 1 second. I'm bored, so I'm having my peeps watch me rant about these stupid people. Give me 1 second. I get sidetracked sometimes. I'm sorry. Hi, Bea. I don't know if you're connected yet or not, but I'm like here. I already started though, but I mean, I still got a little bit more to jabber about because these people they're stupid. Oh my gosh. I don't even think I can describe to you how stupid they are. They're just really stupid. If I could put that on a number, like a number scale of how stupid these people are, it would be like a 35 out of 10. Or like a 35 out of 3. Because I mean, there's like regular stupid, and then there's like the extremely idiotic stupid. Because I mean, like, everybody has common sense that they can use, they just decide not to for whatever reason. Oh yeah, I know that this right here is supposed to be used for my own safety so that nobody can hurt me if they get too close. But what I'm going to do instead is use it to try to harm other people, which is against its creative purposes. I mean, seriously. Me being in a situation like that, kind of sort of like maybe similar to the situation that happened when I was hanging with my family that day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna say any names or anything because confidential, all that other stuff. So I'm with my family. I'm with 2 of my uncles, my uncle's wife, his 2 grandchildren, and his daughter, my own dad, and myself. So we're all standing outside, we're chatting, they're drinking like water, juice, and everything. We all just ate, letting our food digest, we're setting off fireworks. And then you see like a mob of kids walk up the street. It breaks up a little bit. Then you see like 5, 6 more kids walk after the big mob. They're walking in the middle of the street like they don't know what a sidewalk is. So they're just sitting there. What just happened to my camera? There we go. It went like weird fadey for a second there. It freaked me out. So they're walking in the middle of the street. They're just walking like they don't know what a sidewalk is. They're just walking. Yeah, we're thugs. We walk in the middle of the street because we can. I dare somebody to try to hit me with a car. So they're walking. 3 dudes in a car. They're driving, minding their own business. Kids are in the middle of the street. They try to jump out of the way or whatever. Well, they weren't really in a particular rush to get out of the street, knowing that a car was like right there in front of them, trying to come down the street, minding its own business with the 3 people inside. The car slows down so that they give these idiots a chance to get out of the way. Of course, 2 or 3 people had to shoot off. Man, watch where you driving. Blah blah blah. This and that. You better not hit me with that car. The car stops. The car pumped on those brakes. 2 dudes hop out of the car. What? Who said something? Blah blah blah. Zip. They ain't hear no words. The 2 dudes looked at the people that were walking past the car that might have maybe gotten hit with it. The people that were talking all that smack when they were in the car, when the car was still in motion, they shut their mouths real quick as soon as that car stopped. They shut right up. They said nothing. 2 dudes are standing outside the car. Doors are still open. They're standing there waiting for somebody to say something. And I'm standing there looking. I'm like, My uncle's grandchildren are in the back like, yeah, that's what they get. They know they shouldn't have been walking in the middle of the street, blah, 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 all this other stuff. Meanwhile, the 2 dudes get back in the car. They go about their business. They go down the street. They're still, oh, that's what they get. They should have got hit with the car. Who me? I would have hit them. They know they ain't supposed to walk in the middle of the street. Of course, there are always those idiots that got that super hearing for whatever reason. They stop. What? Who said something? Blah, blah, blah. Who said something? Blah, blah. All this other stuff. I'm like, here we go. You see one of the big heavier set chicks with a little pink something in her hand. I'm like, I'm just sitting there like, I was like, I smelt the confrontation right before the dudes got out of the car. I smelled a confrontation coming on. I just have senses about that. So the chicks, two of the chicks that were in the back, it was like just those 2 chicks. After the big mom moved on, it was a few dudes. They're all young, of course. None of them are probably 18. They're probably not even 17. If anything, they might be like 16 and younger and just really tall. But whatever. The two chicks walk back. They're arguing back and forth. What you say? B word. Blah blah blah. All this other stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Come on now. And of course, there's got to be that instigator. One dude had like one of those thin little afros. It's just like, isn't a lot to it. It's just like sitting there. Don't ask me what it is. Just watch it. You dumb nut. Anyways, sorry, I sidetracked again. So they're like talking back and forth. The dude comes from behind, like he was walking with like the smaller mob that came after the big mob. He's the instigator. Oh, whoop these bees, blah blah blah, this and that. My uncle, he steps off his porch, walks. He doesn't walk all the way to where the guy is. He keeps a good enough distance away. He's like, I suggest you keep moving. That's all he said. He's just like, keep it moving. Dude's like, what? What? He's just like, I'm in my head, I'm like, don't do it. He's old fashioned. He will put you down. Don't do it. Don't do it. Then they start arguing back and forth. Meanwhile, the 2 chicks are approaching still. They're taking their time walking. one swinging the pink thing in her hand, just walking, still shooting off all these threats, and it's not, you ain't gonna do nothing, you need to mind your business, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. I'm like, no. They're both like, you ain't gonna do nothing, you ain't gonna touch me, you can have a taser, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. I'm like, dang it. Then they step off the porch. They're getting closer, back and forth, talking back and forth, arguing back and forth. Then you hear my uncle, do something, go ahead, I dare you. I'm like, this escalated quickly. Then you hear zap, zap, zap. I'm like, here it comes. Oh my gosh. No. Then my two cousins, their mom, my uncle's daughter, hops off the porch. She's like, you ain't gonna touch my daughters, blah, 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 this and that. Then it got even worse because she had a weapon. One of the two I was talking about, she had the other one that wasn't already mentioned. Yeah. They were still trying to act all big and tough because they think that a taser can beat the other weapon for whatever reason. I mean, the other one has range, mad range, and depending on the person, it could have very, very deadly accuracy. But okay, a taser can beat a long-range weapon. Because that one, the way the chick was waving it around, it looks like it's the close combat type of one. So yeah, I don't know how that was gonna work out for them, but they're talking back and forth. My uncle's wife, she isn't for the whole rowdy rough thing. She's like, they need to get out of here because I'm not trying to hear this. You're scaring my dog. They need to be gone. So she hops on the phone. And my pops is like, I am. He's trying to be the medium. He's trying to break it up. Then it got worse. The chick with the taser started trying to lean over my dad's shoulder and is still pushing a button, trying to scare somebody. It's like this close to his face. No, I was done just standing there waiting for something to maybe happen. I stepped a little bit closer because that is too close for comfort for me. Because even if it's an accident, you're not going to be putting my pops at risk like that. No, thank you. Because my pops is, no, I don't play that. No. So I'm standing there trying to keep myself cool before I hopped over one of these cars and jacked a chick with the taser. Because that's what I was thinking of doing. Because I had on 2 shirts. Matter of fact, I had on 3 shirts that day. Because it got cold later on. I brought like a sweater. My mind started thinking of all types of different ways that this situation could go. The fastest way, the medium way, and the longest way it could go. The fastest way I could think of, if anything were to pop off, is that my dad somehow got hurt by the chick with the taser. I hop over the car. Since I'm like the smallest person there in the situation, I'm probably the most nimble in the situation too. Would have hopped on over the car, probably scuffed up a window because I was wearing clogs. So definitely would have used one of my shoes real quick right after I hopped over the car, hit the taser with the heel of my shoe, knocked it out of her hand. Most likely, if she doesn't try to jump onto me after I knock it out of her hand, smash that up so that it's no longer a threat. Use one of my shirts to wrap it around her and get her down. The situation is over. Because the other one was only trying to hype her up because she was the one with the weapon. Take out the person with the weapon, they ain't got nothing else to be loud about. Okay, you're big and bad because she has a taser. Now what happens if I take down the person and I get rid of the taser? Then what do you have? Unless one of y'all's packing 2 or 3 other tasers, because I can just as easily take those too. Have you ever seen anybody use a shirt as a weapon? Because I know I can. It can be short sleeve, sleeveless, or long sleeve. I was wearing a short sleeve shirt that day. Could have just as easily stretch it out real quick, put it right over her face, wrapped it around real quick, locked her down. I'm pretty sure not a lot of big people know how to get out of like body holds. So, I mean, okay, maybe they might watch wrestling and might see how to break out of them, but I mean, just from watching and you not actually being able to do it in real life, do you really think you'd be able to get out of somebody having you like in a really tight body lock? And plus them being like a little bit like probably stronger than you. I'm small, but I'm a lot stronger than I look. I got a little bit of muscle, you can't see it, but it's there, and a lot of my muscle is in my legs. I have like half the muscle in my legs and my arms, but you can't really see it. I'm just saying though, like, come on now. So that was that. Eventually, they stopped popping off and they decided that they wanted to move along because they knew that they were outmatched. Because it was just those two that were popping off, plus the instigator that was trying to pickle my uncle, and my uncle wasn't having it. He was waiting for him to try to make a move because he was just straight up being disrespectful. First of all, you never approach an old head with some sort of attitude like that. Even if you don't listen to your own parents, you should just know better. Because not every adult that you come across is just gonna let you do whatever you want. Oh, your parents don't discipline you. They don't give you a what for. They don't tell you what's right and wrong because you're just rowdy. So they like you're off the handle. We don't have the time to deal with you. So we're just gonna let you run around, be a delinquent, be loud, be violent, and do whatever you want. Not all adults are like that. Like my uncle, for example. He's strict, he's old-fashioned, and he doesn't play that. He doesn't. I don't know my uncle very well, but I just know that from the way he talks. And some of the stories my dad tells me, because my dad's an old guy too, so yeah. But yeah, that wasn't happening. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping that the guy would try to approach my uncle just so that I could see my uncle beat the crap out of him for being disrespectful. Because just seeing videos of young people testing older people and then the older people just like beating their faces into the ground is very funny. Because, I mean, why would it not be? The person that was wrong in the situation rightfully being punished for what they did. It's awesome. But after the crisis was averted and everything, we were talking about it and everything. Everybody's like, oh, well, they know they weren't about that life. They wasn't going to do nothing. They were just all talk, blah, 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 all this other stuff. I'm like, I could have used my shirt as a weapon. They're lucky nothing stupid happened. They're lucky nothing stupid happened. Because if something stupid happened, I would have flew off the handle. Then maybe about two, maybe 3 of you, my dad might have had to tear me off of somebody. So, I mean, I'm not violent unless provoked, to be completely honest. If I'm not the one being provoked, if I'm around somebody that I really care about and they're like in a stressful situation and I happen to be there, that is just a whole hot another reason for me to fly off the handle even faster. Like either of my best friends, my little cousin, she knows who she is. No, I got you. Yeah. It could be her, either of my best friends, my pops, either of my sisters, my nieces or my nephews, any of them, it does not matter. It could be a child, it could be a whole hot adult. Don't care. Do not do it. You see it on the internet all the time. The quiet ones are the ones you need to watch out for. I'm one of those quiet people. Unless you're really, really cool with me, then I am not very quiet. Those people that know me, they know they know how I am. They know how I am. But the other people, I'm a weirdo, I'm an outcast, I'm quiet, I'm weird, I'm all this other stuff. You don't want to see me when I'm not quiet and when I'm not being my normal weirdo self. I could be a crazy freaking lunatic if I really wanted to be. I just decide not to be because it takes up too much energy. 2, it stresses my body out too much. 3, I'm super exhausted afterwards. And 4, I don't feel like having to go through all the steps I need to go through to have to calm myself down after being exposed to a situation like that. Because it takes too much time, and that's a lot of energy going when it comes to that. Because you got to deal with the adrenaline, the heart pounding, the mild headache from all the blood rushing up to your head to make sure it gets distributed evenly to every part of your body so that you have enhanced speed, strength, line of sight, the sense of your surroundings. So like, you know, like how some people can be all like, they'll have their back turned and you got like another person's like coming up from behind, they're just like, oh, you thought you had me. Nope. Like that whole third eye thing. It enhances that when you're on adrenaline, pumps up your muscles, gives you a little extra oomph in your bloodstream, hypes you up a little bit, gives you that. I just said extra strength. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just it pretty much gives you like a strength boost, pretty much. Or you could go Super Saiyan for a minute. For those who know what I'm talking about, just go Super Saiyan real quick when you're on that adrenaline. Not full hot, not full like Super Saiyan like 4 or anything like that. What I'm saying just like basic level 1 Super Saiyan. Unless you also have anger problems, then you might want to just calm down, because then you're really gonna hurt somebody. Unless you have a dangerous mind, then just your basic Super Saiyan can really hurt somebody. Because you're like me, you can think of multiple ways to do all types of horrible things to somebody, and you don't even need a weapon. You use your shirt, you use your shoe, you can use the pick in your pocket, and then again, that's a weapon. You can use that as a weapon. I mean, picks can be pretty sharp, even the ones with like the dull tips, the ones with like the metal lines. I'm pretty sure you all know what curb stomping is. You could use a chunk of sidewalk that is unmovable from the ground you are standing on to hurt somebody. Just slide your elbow across the person's cheek, knock them to the floor. Instead of stomping them out, move their face right on over to that curb. If they don't squirm too much, you'd be able to get their mouth on that curb, mess their entire dental, just mess all that up. I mean, I'm okay with gore, but even I think curb stomping is a little cruel. Because, I mean, imagine the pain from that. I mean, just imagine, remember back to most likely having to pull out your own tooth because it was coming out, because the next one was growing in. Now imagine, instead of having to wiggle it or rip it out, is being pushed either up into your gums, or it's being pushed back so hard that it chips and it breaks, and then ends up stabbing you inside of your mouth, and you might even swallow it when you try to get up and you're like coughing on your own blood from your broken teeth and your bleeding gums. Most likely the person probably deserved it because they overstepped their bounds in the situation. But regardless of that, to me, that's pretty freaking cruel. But I mean, if the person had it coming, they had it coming. That's just like a last resort sort of thing. Like if you're really trying to end it and that opportunity comes up, I say go for it. Not trying to promote violence, but I'm just saying. Because I mean, you could try to take the easy road out and knock the person to the floor, maybe beat them down a little bit, give yourself some time so that you can leave the situation. But a lot of time, it's not just that person. It's usually them and their clique or their posse or their peoples or whatever. Their thugs, their homies, their whatever. So if they're not all trying to jump on you at the same time, if they're just standing waiting for you to be done, like legit people should be, how it used to be, then you just KO'd my girl? Like, all right, I'm jumping in next. Who's coming in after me? Like, instead of it being like that, how it should be, people got to be all like, oh, well, I know we said that we were going to fight you one-on-one, but since there's like 3 of us and there's only like 1 of you, we all just going to jump you all at the same time so we can like end this faster. Now, what happens when your whole you trying to jump the person doesn't work? What if that person can fight like 5 or 6 people at one time? Could trip like 3 of those people, hit 2 of those people in the mouth with their elbows, and then freaking uppercut 2 more people, and then punch the last few people in the throat, and they're sitting there gasping for air. And they're sitting there like gasping their throat because their stuff got freaking knocked in by their freaking fingers. Come on now. Or they could be somebody that practices some sort of martial art and knows how to break bones. Pretty sure it's real easy to get behind somebody that's all hype, trying to be all fancy with their stuff, thinking they bobbing and weaving like they're playing freaking Punch Out on freaking Xbox or something like that. Or you sitting there trying to do all this. Person could just as easily, maybe if they're strong enough, they could like grab your wrists together and just hold them for a second, move behind you, freaking crack you in your what is this? Crack you in your cheek a few times. You're sitting there, oh, you're like sitting there hurting a little bit, so you're a little bit disoriented. You're kind of out of it a little bit. You know where you are. You know you're in a fight, but you're just like, like I'm getting hit in the face. Like, what am I doing? Why am I not moving? That person could just as easily like grab your shoulders. They probably know where pressure points are too. Zip, knock you out real quick. You on the floor. Why am I down here? Wasn't I just standing up? I know my cheek hurts and now I can't move. What's going on? Those people can end a fight real easily because with pressure points, depending on which ones you hit, I don't know. You could freaking disable a person just hitting one of them. Most likely the ones on your neck, because I haven't done my research on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Hit either pressure point somewhere in the shoulder and collarbone area. You can disable a person from the waist down. It won't last for a really long time, but it can, depending on the pressure applied, I'm sure. But I mean, come on now. They really need to get a grip, because there are a lot of more dangerous people out there rather than the people just walking around trying to pass themselves on as unbeatable people. Because not everybody's gonna be like, oh, all hail Shaquisha, all hail Denia, all hail Tyrone. I'm gonna do whatever you want because you're a thug, because you're the realest. I'm gonna just do whatever you want. There's gonna be somebody that you're gonna be trying to pop off with that'll end it like that, and they will not care. They will probably leave you on the sidewalk bleeding out, didn't have no type of weapon, just beat you to a bloody pulp, and you're just like laying there like, oh, I've been and messed with the wrong one. Why didn't I just shut my mouth when I had the opportunity to? Because you put yourself up too freaking high. That person is 2 or 3, maybe even 7 steps higher than you on like the fight chain, and you just decided that you wanted to just keep popping off. Get out of here, Debbie. My pops. I'm ranting about stuff. Stupid people and tasers. I'm talking about people being too hype up on themselves because they think they're all that and that they can just beat anybody that they decide to. Well, don't walk past, fat belly. Oh, jeez, just walk past. It's too blurry to see your face from way over there. Yeah, it is. Oh, jeez, daddy. Go away. Why are you going to the kitchen? You have something in the oven? You could have told me to come get it. Why are you throwing the trash in your room? Oh, gosh. Come on, Debbie. Oh, jeez, come on, because I'm rolling. You're being a butt cheek. Oh, gosh. My dad's a dork. You were getting the freezer. Oh gosh. Come on. But you can't see anything with my finger. Oh my gosh, come on. You're gonna make me lose my train of thought. Yeah. Oh. My dad's a dork. See, now I forgot where I was. Let me forget where I was. Oh jeez. I forgot where I was. Freak. I really do not remember where the heck I was. This is probably going to be a lot longer than I thought it was. I always mean for some of my rant videos to be a bit on the short side, but that's never the case because, as you know by now, I talk a lot because I don't talk very often, so yeah. I really can't remember what the heck I was talking about. Oh yeah. Yeah. These dudes and these chicks, they really just need a good smackdown. All these people that are trying to talk, all these people just trying to talk and talk and talk, trying to do all this extra stuff just because they think they can. They all just need to be put down real quick and put back in their place. If it doesn't happen now, it will happen someday, and then they will just be sitting there feeling salty. Oh, I thought I was the stuff before I messed with this person. They've been and beat me up, but I ain't gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna tell nobody that I just got my butt handed to me because I was shooting out all that trash. Nobody needs to know because nobody was with me. I won. Until you see the person again, and then you try to talk all that smack again, knowing what happened the last time. But you're with your people, so you know you gotta show off. Oh, Shanae here and Troy's here. Man, you beat me last time, but I mean, like, that ain't nothing right now. Like, this is a new day. This is different. And you get your butt kicked again. And it's in front of your peoples. Not only do you feel salty, not only do you feel salty, you feel crustaceous. Yes, I went that deep. Crustaceous. You feel crabbier than a biz. Yep. Because people think that they can just do whatever they want, but they can't. I think that's it. I don't know. There's something else I want to talk about. I want to talk about petty people, but I can save that for a different video. And talk about petty and immature people. That will be for next time. I'm gonna write that down before I forget. I mean, might just do that on Monday because I don't have work. Yes, I'm literally writing it down because I forget. Video about petty slow immature people / showy people. Matter of fact, that day I might even talk about 3 topics, and I don't care how long the video is. Because, I mean, these things need to be addressed. I don't even remember if I actually, like, talked about these things before. I might have talked about one of them before, but the 3 will be addressed either tomorrow or on Monday when I don't have work, unless I make plans for the reason. But regardless of anything, the video is going to be made, and it will be within the next 5 days. So, yeah, because I need to get that off my chest because there's a lot of stuff going on with that. So that's going to need to be put into the light because that's getting to me way too much. Yeah. So all that talking made me hungry. So yeah. I'm I'm gonna start on Dina. About to make me some Salisbury steak and some brown rice. Cause I have a craving for rice right now, but I also want some meat. So like, why not put the two together? I mean, for real, when you think about it, that's probably not the worst thing somebody's ever put together with two different things that you probably normally don't eat together. I mean, if it's not rice, it would be mashed potatoes and corn, probably with my Salisbury steak. And that sounds completely normal. I mean, Salisbury steak with some mashed potatoes, green beans, corn, collard greens, blah, blah, blah. That sounds so good. Yeah. Sounds just as good with freaking rice. Brown rice, white rice, it don't matter. That gravy is banging, that meat is banging, and that rice is nice and tender, just the way I like. So why not? Spread some rice on a plate, ladle that gravy over. I don't have a ladle. Spoon it over the rice, and then you like freaking smack the patties on top, man. Good. This city, man. This city does way too much. And people are using the word have no chill. I mean, my city has a little bit of chill, but not that much. I'm gonna go before I start talking about that stupid random fight that popped off across the street from my house in front of a freaking Chinese store. Chinese restaurant that's across the street from my house that I can literally see from my window. If it were light out enough, I'd show you, but it's pretty dark, which is why I have my light on. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. So yeah. Bye.